Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We'll start with Rebecca from Sky Sports News. Thank you.
Hi, Roy. Just wanted your reaction first of all to how your team performed today, if that's okay.
Yeah, well, obviously I'm very pleased with the performance. It was a very difficult game. We knew that Fulham were in excellent form, and we know they have some excellent players. So we knew that there was going to be times when perhaps we were going to have to dig in and defend very, very well, and make certain that our shape was good at all times, and that we sealed off as many spaces as we possibly could, hoping, of course, that the game would eventually open out and some more spaces would enable us to use, Ebrechezi in particular as a sort of a number 10, but it didn't work out that way, and that's credit to Fulham, the way they sealed off spaces as well. It was a game really between two teams that knew what they were doing, and so I've got to be very happy that in a game where we didn't create enough chances ourselves to feel disappointed that we didn't win the game, that we did well enough defensively to draw the game.
Yeah, I mean, defensively, you played very well indeed. Some good saves from Guaita and that block from Gary Cahill as well.
Yeah, one good save from Vicente. He didn't have many saves to make, but there were some good blocks. That's right, and certainly there was an excellent block from Gary Cahill. But the save from Vicente was a match-winning save.
Wanted to ask you about Wilfried Zaha. I know you say he's back in training. You've got a couple of tough games coming up. Is he likely to be available for selection for those?
I doubt it, unfortunately. I think we'd have to wait. I mean, the Manchester United game that's been thrust upon us is obviously something we're pretty unhappy about, especially in this current state of affairs where we do have so many of our good players, our first team players unavailable. It's pretty tough to have to play Man United now and then get 3 weeks off when we don't need 3 weeks off. I'd have much preferred if this game had stayed where it was. But it's part and parcel, I guess, of being in the Premier League and being involved in FA Cup competitions, that the powers that be feel the need to move games, and sometimes it'll suit a team and sometimes it won't. But I've got to say that the game coming up on Wednesday definitely doesn't suit us. I'd have much preferred to have had a week now to get people back into some sort of form, give those guys who aren't playing at least a few more days to possibly be ready. And most importantly, give ourselves a chance to recover from two unbelievably difficult games that we've had to face against Brighton and Fulham, where we've spent a lot of the time working very hard to defend our goal.
Okay, thanks ever so much. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Okay, thank you. If you'd like to use the emoji if you have a question for Roy, please. Jack Grosser of the Evening Standard.
Afternoon, Roy.
Hello, Jack.
There was some, I'm not sure if criticism is too strong, but suggestions on the post-match on the telly that perhaps you could have been a bit more ambitious given your position in the table. Would you agree with that, or do you think it's more important that you preserve the clean sheet?
I think our ambition was to attack and to create lots of goal chances, but unfortunately there's two teams on the field, aren't there? And I've got to say that they were very, very good, Fulham, at closing down, restricting our time and space, making certain that the attacking moves and the attacking options that we were hoping to sort of launch weren't available to us. And as a result, you have to play the game that's out there. I mean, before the game, certainly we didn't set out to involve ourselves in a game where the opposition had as much of the ball as they did and were asking questions of us in the way that they did. We set out, of course, to make it a very even game, but credit to Fulham, that didn't happen. And as a result, when it wasn't happening, we had to make certain that the weapons we have at our disposal were also brought to bear. And that major weapon that we had in that respect today was the defensive shape, the defensive organisation, and the desire of the players to make certain that if we're not going to be able to win this game, we're not going to lose it.
Cheers, Roy. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Ian McCulloch from West London News.
Hi, Roy. I'm just wondering, do you expect Fulham to have got enough about them to stay in the Premier League from what you've seen today?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the fact is, they would have liked the 3 points, of course, but still an important point for them. It takes them up within 3 points of the teams above them. And I'm pretty certain that with the confidence that they're showing and the quality that they have in their team, because there's no doubt they've introduced a lot of quality players to this team. They're on a good run in recent weeks. I think, this is their 8th point from 4 games, which is really top Premiership positioning, if you like, to get 8 points from 4 games. So I fully expect them to make it very, very difficult for the teams above and around them, and I'm delighted that we've been able to keep our gap to them, the 10 points that it currently is. But I'm also aware that they're going to be creeping up behind us, and if we want to keep that gap, we're going to have to win games ourselves.
Thanks a lot, Roy. Cheers.
Pleasure.
Okay, we'll go to Tom Barkley on the Sun.
Hi, Rick.
Hi.
I wanted to ask a question about Mateta. He scored a fantastic goal the other day. I was just wondering if everything was all right with him because he didn't come off the bench.
No, he didn't come on today because Benteke, whom I chose to play in his place, was doing an excellent job. And of course, Benteke plays a role for us as well defensively, especially from corner kicks and wide and deep free kicks. JP Mateta is a different type of player to that. So I didn't see any reason to bring him on today. I thought it was important that the guys who were out there and doing a very good job for us and working as hard as they were for us, they were allowed to keep doing what they were doing, because I didn't see what JP would be able to do, which could make a difference, if you like, in us seeing the game through as we did. But he's fine. He's ready to play and he'll be competing. But I must say that I thought Benteke today, he did an excellent job for us up front.
Thanks, Roy.
Pleasure.
Okay, can't see any more emojis, so we'll leave it there. Thanks.